Hi, James here from My Pickleball Friends. I got something to share with you. I'm having some trouble creating content for my community site. Now, if you're not familiar with this is a project, personal project that I created where I'm building a community for pickleball fanatics. Now, this isn't about making courses and selling courses, although we do have pickleball courses on here. It's more about a community. And I need to get beta testers. I need to get people here as quickly as possible, not necessarily for the website, but in fact for the mobile app that we have. Now, remember, we put this together with BuddyBoss and BuddyBoss theme and the BuddyBoss app. And what that means is we've built out a community, and whatever happens in the community happens on the mobile app. Whatever happens on the mobile app happens live on the community. And I got to create some content. There's a whole bunch of different ways I can do that, of course. The one that most people think of is me doing some blog posts. I could do that. I could write some blog posts. I could do some videos from the local games and stuff that we play. There's a problem with that. I don't have enough time, energy, or effort, and I need this thing to grow quickly. So I can't afford to create all of the content myself. On the other hand, I could hire someone to do it, which is going to cost some money, and I can have them go and create the content, whether that be written content or visual content, whether it be audios or videos or just images. I can have someone do that and pay for it. And there's another area that we're going to do today, which has nothing to do with me creating content and nothing to do with me having to pay someone to create content. What am I talking about? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to repurpose existing content from all of the other people who are already pickleball fanatics, and we're going to aggregate it and bring it into the site and publish it on the site. We're going to use a WordPress tool. I think it's called WP or RSS WP Aggregator. I'm going to go through and install it. It's a paid one, and we're going to go through it, set it up, and I'm going to show you how to do a couple things. One of them is why you need to get the paid version of it, and I'll include the links for it. Secondly, I'm going to go and show you where to get all of the content where I can start posting 10s, 20s, hundreds of articles to the community anytime I want with RSS feeds, or real simple syndication. And it's actually going to come from Google, from the community, from all the people who are already creating news. This isn't about me selling a product. This isn't about me having to make sure it's my content. I want to take the content that everyone else is already creating and use it in my community, because pickleball community is fantastic and we want to share all the news, everything that's going on. All of the games, all of the tournaments, all of the pros, all of the equipment, all of the places to play, all of the great times that people are having with this exciting sport that is just taking, well, North America and probably the world by storm. I think we're right now still, the fastest growing sport in the world right now is pickleball. So how do we do that? Let's take a look and see what happens. What I'm going to do is I'll look in the background here. Let's go back and see. Yeah, okay, so we're on My Pickleball Friends right now. We're logged in. I'm logged in as an administrator, so you'll be able to see the page as I move up and down here. And on this particular case, I have what's called an activity feed. And what that activity feed is everything that's going on in the community. And this is what you would consider, for example, just like your Facebook feed. Everything that happens on the site shows up here on the feed. Now, if I wanted to, I could manually go and post any of these updates that I run into about pickleball and put them on here. That's one thing I could do. The other thing I can do is, because I am the site owner, is I can also go, and I was talking about doing those blog posts. I'm just going to open up the blog here, and you can see that I have some blog posts that I started. And these ones have been added, and you're looking at them and you're going, well, where did they come from? You'll see we've got these blog posts. Pickleball equipment market posed to reach. So we've got an amount there. This is something that has been added from an RSS feed. So I didn't manually add this. I had WordPress add this from somewhere else on the internet, and I've collected it with what's called an RSS feed. So I'm going to show you where this comes in and how we can make it look better and have it show up not only in the blog post so that we get all of the content and the search engine optimization available or benefit from it. However, what we're going to do is have it show up on the blog post and have it show up on the activity feed and show up on everyone's app who has subscribed to this particular activity feed, who wants to see this activity feed. They're going to be able to see it automatically. Okay, so here's an example where we have a YouTube video, all sorts of text. Where did that come from? Well, let's go take a look. I'm going to go here as an administrator and we're going to open up the dashboard. And I think what I'll do on this one is I'll actually go to the whole screen so that you can see that. There we go. So I'm going to go back here, and what we did is we went and we installed a plugin. And again, this is free to get started. We'll get the plugin to come up here. And again, this is a beta. We're just getting beta users here, so I'm just starting to put the content in. If you are a pickleball fan, obviously I want you to join up. It's an opportunity to get in and play around with it. So here's one that I was trying. I'm going to get rid of that one. That was one I was playing around with. Not going to use that one anymore, but we are going to use one down here. And you can see some of the tools we set up here for it. So let's go down to the bottom and WP RSS aggregator. So that's the one that we're using. Okay, so we'll just click View Details so you can see it. Again, this is free at the WordPress repository, so if you just go and do a search for WP RSS Aggregator, you'll be able to find this. Okay, so I've installed it already. It's a plugin, it's installed, it's ready to go here. But what I need to do is I also purchase the paid version. And what does that actually mean? Well, that means that I paid it's $179 yearly for the version that I did for one site, but it has some additional extensions. Feed to post. And what that means is it allows us to take an RSS feed and create a blog post from a feed. So that one we needed, so I downloaded that. This one is full text RSS feed. So that means that when we look at an RSS feed, which I'll show you in a minute, an RSS feed starts off to be just a link to the original document on whatever website that document is and the title and a bit of information in it. But what this extension does is it goes to the link and then copies or imports all of the content from the link to our site, in my case, the My Pickleball Friends site, and adds it as a post. And then we've got some additional pieces here for doing some keyword filtering, templates, categories, that kind of thing. Okay, so I've got these here. The ones that I want to install are the feed to post and the full text RSS feed. So let's go do that. I'm just going to go to plugins here, and we're going to go back up to the top and click add new in the top left. And it's going to ask me for the plugin. And I'm going to go upload plugin, and I'm going to choose one. And the one that I'm going to choose, hopefully, is it goes to, where is this content from? Like, how do we get content that we add to the site that has to do with pickleball? Well, there's kind of a neat tool that we can use, and I'll show you here. I'm just going to go to it right now. And this is free from Google. It's just called Google Alerts. So if you just do google.com/alerts, and what you can do is you can say, I want an alert about something. So what do I want? I want pickleball equipment trends. Let's take a look at this one. Or here's one I did on pickleball statistics. So I'll do this one right now, pickleball equipment trends. Or I'll just do pickleball equipment. So I'm just going to type in pickleball equipment, and I could create show options right now. Right now, this will create an email alert, so it's going to send an email alert to my email address. I don't want it to do that. So I said show options, and it's how often, and I can say once a day as it happens. I can do as it happens, or most once a week, at most once a day. So I'm going to say as it happens. And sources, what are the sources? I can pick only news sites, only blogs, or just the generic web. I can take a look for books, videos, fashion, finance, whatever. I'm just going to keep it at automatic for now. I only want English, so I'm going to select English here. Any region, I can say, well, where do I want it from? I'm just going to say United States, so I can have a little more fine-tuned here. How many results? And I can say how many I want. We'll do only the best ones or the most popular ones. In this one, what it's doing is it's saying, I'm going to deliver it to my email address, my Google email address. And these are some of the examples of the stories that come up for this alert. So these are just previews of links, for example, to all of the different news sites, websites, blogs, everything that has to do. So, for example, here's one to a newspaper. This one, for example, is NBC News, this one here. This one up here is MSBN. Here's a journal. This one up here is actually a press release. You can see it says, this one has EIN Presswire, so that's just a press release. So these ones are going to be delivered right now to email address. I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a lot of emails, so I'm going to have to take a second here, but what I'm going to do is just go down to the bottom, and this should show up at the bottom for you. There's one called RSS feed. So what's going to happen is all of these previews that come in regards to pickleball equipment, they're going to come to a thing called an RSS feed. So I'm going to create the alert. And what happens is I get a brand new alert. It's called pickleball equipment. And you'll see there's this little RSS feed icon right in the middle of the screen. I can delete this alert, edit the alert, or if I click here, I'm going to open up the RSS feed. And here's the great part right now is if I look right here at the top fourth line down as the feed, and then there's one called a link right here. So I'm just going to select that link, and that is my RSS feed. So I'm going to copy that. So that's a Command C or a Control C, but I've got that copied now. Wonderful. Now, what do I want to do with that? So I've got my feed. Let's go back and take a look now at my plugins. Okay, so now we've got our RSS feed. We've got our plugins installed. Now the free plugin and the paid one for doing a feed to post and also the full text to post. So we need to be able to put that content in and make sure it gets added to the My Pickleball Friends site. And again, remember the reason we're doing this is because this is a community site and we need to have content in here to bring people in, and we need beta testers to get started to be involved in the community. And we want to bring as much news about tournaments, about professionals, about places to play, about equipment, everything to do with pickleball. We want to bring information in. It doesn't have to be just mine. It can be anyone's content. So I'm taking everyone's content and bringing it in and putting it here on the site. These are the tools I'm using to add it as blog posts to the site. And because it's a blog post here, it automatically gets added to the activity feed and it automatically gets published to the mobile app, which is what I want everyone to download and start using. So how does this actually get in place and what's actually going to be happening here? So let's take a look. I go back to, this time we'll go back to another page here, make sure I'm on the right page. There we go. So I'm going to go to the dashboard, we're going to go to the plugins, and I'm going to show you specifically what happens, first of all, when we go into the RSS aggregator at the bottom, and we have a feed source. So if you look on the bottom left, I'm moving my mouse there, you'll see feed source. What's the feed source? Well, here's one. I'm going to add a new one. And that one, it says, what's the name of it? Pickleball equipment. I'm going to put the feed in. Okay. It's just double checking there. Everything's fine. It's good. It says a feed preview right here on the right hand side. It shows 2 from a feed. The limit is the default. This is I can adjust the maximum amount that are imported. I'm just going to keep it at the settings that I put in with the actual plugin. Unique titles only. That's what I had it set up as well. Link to enclosure. So this is an interesting one. What this one does is it tick this box to make imported items link to their enclosure rather than to the original article. Doesn't matter to me. So I want them, they can leave the website if they want. That's fine. So I'm not going to click that. And on this one, post type. Here's the important part. Where do I want this to be posted? I'm just putting it directly in the blog post. But you can see that I can actually add this to any kind of custom post type that I have in WordPress. I'm just using the post, but there's a lot of flexibility here. I can also say, hey, is it a draft or is it pending? Is it published or scheduled? I'm going to keep it as draft just for these ones so I can double check them till I'm happy with them on a regular basis. Post format. Again, how are they? This is just a traditional standard post. I want the original date, not a future date. Do I want comments allowed? Enforce full content. So here's the one that tries to retrieve the full content. If the feed only provides excerpts, this uses the free full excerpt by default. Okay, and on this one, I'm going to not force it. We'll just leave it for there. Import, port, export. Okay, short description. Allow embedded content. Okay, so we'll keep these ones off for now, and we want the full link. Images, all sizes. What's the image dimension? The minimum, I'm going to say 80 by 80. Featured image, I'm going to take the first image in the post. Okay, remove featured image from post content. Again, we'll try this just to see what happens. No audio player, we're not going to worry about it. We're not going to worry with the tags. This is the other one that you have to think about, is that I'm going to use an author. Which author is important to me to use? Is this something that I want to use and have me show up as the author, or do I want to recognize the original author? So on this particular one, I'm going to, for now, I'm going to keep myself as the author and reference the fact that it was imported. In the community, as we get going here, if it is a feed that I have where it is from a website, where there is an author of the website, where it is a person that owns the website, I'm going to use them and import them in as an author. On the other hand, if it's a PR company where it's just a site that is the author of the PR, I don't want them as an author within the website. So I'm just going to use this to start. Here's where we can prepend the content, add some information to the beginning and the end of it, over and above it, extraction rules, custom mapping, a whole bunch of stuff that's there. In my case, I'm just going to use this to start. We're going to keep it as a draft, and you can see we've got 2 of them here. Is it active? Yes. Immediately pause feed. Let's go and see what happens when we publish it. Now we're in the unique situation where what we've done is we now have content being created. We've got content being created for our website to our posts, to our blog posts, that will automatically be published to the activity feed and to the mobile app. And it's coming about pickleball equipment from all over the, well, I think I set it up for the North America, all over North America. Any pickleball content that is picked up by Google Alerts is now going to show up on the site. And we'll spend some time with this, fine-tuning it. I'll do a couple other videos just showing what happens, how we can put content at the beginning of this, content at the end of it, how to make sure that it's SEO optimized, how to make sure we have a featured image. There's a whole bunch of additional pieces here. But for me, just remember, for a training site, a membership site, the reason this is important is because we are building the community here, not worried about selling the courses. We're worried about getting subscribers or people that become a free member that download the app, that start interacting with other people, that come to find this as a place where there's great news. So we'll keep on with this. We'll see what happens over the next little while. I do my best to keep the video updates coming. If you haven't already, make sure to visit mypickleballfriends.com, create a free account, or go to the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Go and download the app and install it, and share it with all your friends who are interested in finding out about pickleball, or if they already play pickleball and they just want to share their pickleball journey with their friends. Take care. Expect the best.